Something we don't talk a lot about is smoking. Gosh, I love smokers. I love smoking. This kind of smoking. See my little red wagon? Makes moving this around a lot easier, and the sides fold down. Genius idea. Mr. Old School Preppers, of course. All right, so I've got my Bradley smoker here. We're going to do some ribs. And you can tell from the inside of my Bradley smoker, bam, it gets used a lot. All right, so this is a smoker and an oven, so it's a twofer. I can do both items in here at once. So I'm going to get my handy dandy bowl and fill it with water and make sure my pucks are loaded. This is the one thing I don't love about this Bradley. You have to buy their pucks. Other brands make them, but you know, it's one of those things that get you in their system and you buy their stuff. I do have chips. I have figured out a way to use those chips in here, which isn't all that hard. But today we're going to look at puck smoking and make some ribs. So I got to get some water for those spent pucks to fall into. I'll be back in a sec. All right, so we've got the smoker plugged in. I've got my water up here, so we're going to go ahead and open her up. Oops, and spill water everywhere, and then put in the bowl. All right, so we're down here at the bottom, and we put the bowl right in here. And that's because, let's see, get you down so you can see it. In here is the little tray the pucks come on, and when they're done burning or giving off their smoke, they fall into the water, and this puts them out. So it's important to check this every once in a while, especially if you're doing a lot of smoking over the course of a day. So we've got the oven on, and I want it at oven on, and I want it at oven temp set to 60. Timer 4 hours is fine. It's too long, but I'll come back and check it. The smoker timer sets also at 4 hours, and this will just push the wood forward. Let's see how that works. Oop, too bad on that one. I'm going to save that one. Put it in again because I'm cheap. So it will just do that constantly. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more pucks in, and then we're going to get the ribs ready. So when you add the pucks, it's important not to just take them and drop them into the, I don't even know what you call it, this little chimney thing here, the feeder hopper, because if you do, then they can kind of fall apart, and the little, you know, pieces of wood will fly everywhere. And if that happens, this can get all gummed up, so we don't want our system gummed up. So we're going to place them in there nice and gently. This is actually probably enough to smoke for 4 or 5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get this rocking and rolling, and then I'm going to take my trays in, and we're going to go ahead and cut up those ribs to put in here, or see how much of a rack I can get on a rack. All right, you guys, so we have just over 6 pounds of baby back ribs here, and we are going to put them on the racks. But you can see my rack is smaller than my ribs. I'm going to put sections on each rack, so this half will be on one rack minus the extra. Same with this rack. This one's obviously skinnier. This one has more meat and is just larger in general. So I'm going to take the skinnier end, cut it off, have the extra on here, cut it off, put that on one rack, and then the other 2 racks will have the bulk of the ribs on them. So as you know, we're in the real world here. I took these out of the freezer. They're still partially frozen, and there's still a lot of fat on the back, but the silver skin has mostly been removed. You know, the ongoing debate about silver skin. Do you need to remove it? Do you not need to remove it? I don't know. I just don't know. My dad never did, and I never noticed, but you know, it's tough. But if you smoke it well enough, it's, I don't know, that's neither here nor there. You remove it if you want to. It's not easy to do. The butcher in this case removed on one, didn't remove the fat and stuff in the silver skin on this one. So actually we're going to do a little bit of both, and I guess maybe we'll have a taste test and compare it. Now, my hands are all gunky, so I want to point out right now that I have my ever-present bottle of bleach and water. Always have that handy when you're working with raw meats. I'll use it on the cutting board when I'm done. And I know it's a mortal sin, but I also will use it on my knives because I wash my knives by hand. So I'll spray it on, let it sit for 15 seconds or a minute or whatever, and then wipe it down. But I did want to show you guys one of my new favorite toys that Mr. Old School got me. You may not know this about me, but I'm a knife lover. You know, I love my chopper. This is an old Chicago cutlery Chinese chopper, the CC1. I have 3 of these now. I love them. This was my mom's, so I grew up using it. But Mr. Old School found this fillet knife at an estate sale. Isn't that beautiful? It's a thing of beauty. What is it, from the 40s or something? So you could, it's a Schrader. USA 167 Uncle Henry? Yeah, it is Uncle Henry. I did just look it up real quick to confirm. I was wrong about the dates. It says it's from the 70s, actually. And with the sheath, you can buy them for around 80 bucks. But without the sheath, just the knife, you can still get them for about 20 bucks on eBay. This thing is so freaking sharp. It has been sharpened a few times, I can tell by the blade. I'm not expecting you to look at it, I'm just looking at it in the light. Anyway, butter. It cuts through stuff like butter. So I use it obviously a lot more than just filleting fish. But anyway, fun gift. If you're thinking about the holidays now ahead of time for the knife lover, this is an awesome, awesome gift. And, you know, the knife by itself, 20 bucks, can't beat that. I don't know if they still make them or not, but why buy new when you can get used? All right, so let's take a look. For this one, I'm going to cut down that way, so I'm looking at the rack, and the rack makes a 90-degree turn there, so I'm going to measure from that 90-degree turn, and it's going to be right about there. I'm just going to find the bone, put a little cut right there so I can see it. And then the same here, but this is the side that's meatier on this one. I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna cut this a little shorter, just right there between the bone. And now I'm really gonna cut them. So here I go. Done. So let's load up, and then we'll get out to the smoker and put these in. And I'll put them in this order. I'm going to put the smallest pieces nearest the top, the biggest piece near the bottom, although this isn't even going to fill half that smoker. I am going to put it up nearer, well, mid-range in the smoker, and well, you'll see. Here, let's go. All right, let's put everything in here. Go ahead and open this bad boy up, see how much smoke there is already. And just gonna see, it's got little points on the side where you can put your racks. And you can see I'm skipping every other one, so I'm going, well, this one I'm gonna put here. I lied. Here, and that's an extra rack. There's a space here, but I skipped it and went up top with this one just because I want it to have some more time, not to get all dried out, or less time, I should say. So right now the smoke's open on full blast. I can turn this down a lot if I want. The instructions that you're following will tell you what to do with this. I'm a fan of the smoke, though. I go against the rules, and so can you. All right, so we're going to do that for a while, and let's see. We've had this going for 20 minutes, I can tell from the clock. And let's see, the inside is 260 degrees Fahrenheit. The smoke is 185, that's fine. And yeah, so far so good. I still have pucks in there. So now I'll just let it be. This will go off automatically in 3 hours and 39 minutes. So if you leave, you forget, it will go off automatically. And that's really quite nice. Yeah, so anyway, we'll come back in a little while. All right, so after about 3 hours now, I took the smaller, smokage, the smaller pieces inside, and now we've got these out here. About half hour ago I put a little barbecue sauce on them, so let's bring them on inside.